as the Senate officially began debating the legislation over the weekend. President Trump took to his social media platform advising Republican senators not to go too crazy, is the quote, even suggesting that they still need to be reelected. A little bit of a threat there. Let's bring in our Washington, D.C. Bureau Managing Editor, Katherine Faulders, to talk about just the politics of all this and, how they plan to get the bill over the finish line. We're already seeing the grip that President Trump has on his own party when it comes to Thom Tillis that we just talked about, announcing he won't run for re-election. What do you make of how all that went down, and more to follow?
I mean, look, we saw that happen, and you all just talked about there with Don Bacon, who has been an outspoken critic at times against President Trump. So, look, what do I make of Thom Tillis? On the one hand, it was surprising the way he announced it. On the other hand, maybe you could argue that it was expected in some ways. The reporting on this is interesting, too, that, of course, this happens right after Trump criticizes Tillis for voting against the big, beautiful bill, as we call it. And Tillis did recall and recount a phone call that he had with Trump where he relayed his concerns on this. But he also did say, and he pledged, frankly, to find another Republican person to fill his seat, and that he would help the administration do that. So it'll be interesting to see how this relationship goes moving forward. But when you say more to come, it's possible. There might be more to come here. The question is just how many.
And Republicans are now apparently making deals for votes in order to meet the president's July 4th deadline. What kind of deals are we talking about here?
Well, we don't really totally know all of these things yet. I'm looking at the clock, Kira, and they have been doing this vote-a-rama for hours now, and there hasn't been much progress on this. Now, what will happen during the day-to-day is, of course, and you're looking at the Senate floor right now, is that there will be an unlimited number of amendments that are introduced. And a lot of this is to get Republicans on the record voting against certain things or not for certain things. That's really Chuck Schumer's strategy here. But then, as you know, you might see some agreements come out and some work get done through all of this. Again, it's entirely unclear at this point, but this is expected to go on most of the day. Unclear when exactly this will all wrap up. But we do know that the earliest that this could then go over to the House side will be on Wednesday. So all of the timing is still in flux, but at least that's the earliest we could see it back over at the House.
Well, Elon Musk is back after exiting sort of in a strange way last month, saying the bill will destroy millions of jobs in America and labeling it utterly insane and destructive. Do you think this could impact the vote at all?
Look, it could. We know that Musk was quiet for a little bit there, and now he's decided to reemerge, at least on his criticisms here. Of course, this led to that back and forth between Musk and President Trump. So, look, it could ultimately have an impact, but I don't know. I think we've seen this already from Elon Musk. We know where he stands on this, so I think he will just continue to say how he feels on X, and we could still see more of those comments from him.
All right, Katherine, thanks.